In the principle that generals always fight the last war, everyone has studied the success of Microsoft and its Windows platform, and they're trying to replicate that. And one of the first and most important follow-ons to the generals winning the last war is that the next war is never like the last war. And so when I hear the word platform, I always say to myself, do you really understand what platform economics mean? Now, clearly, platforms are good because a platform enables third parties to build on top of or beside or so forth. But to build a successful global platform at a technology or at an engineering level requires a lot more work. It requires a real understanding of what the interchange points are. It requires a strong distribution strategy, whether it's hardware or software. And you have to come up with ways of making money from selling your platform. The Internet does have platform situations, but the platform lock-in is much, much lower. It's very easy for people to switch from one product to another. Software is so fungible, it's very, very easy to move from one to another. So people, I think, overuse the term platform. There are a number of initiatives to try to build essentially global standards in these areas. Given the history of war and global politics and so forth, it's highly unlikely that we'll see a single regime, for example, for copyright law, or what content is appropriate, or what are the penalties for inappropriate content, all of the issues that people face in the online world. Today, the way this problem is solved is to use per-country domains. So the domain that's per country is seen as different as the U.S. domain, which is called .com. There are likely to be challenges to that, legal and political challenges over the years, and the Internet has withstood every challenge so far, and I think that's a next one that will come soon. The most important thing to have in these kinds of situations is a large number of lawyers. And the reason is that the laws have become so complicated and they differ and they don't agree that to operate globally, and every large corporation I know of has this, they have the lawyer who understands Brazilian law and the lawyer who understands Turkish law and the lawyer who understands the European court. And of course, companies also have large lobbying efforts to try to influence the laws as well. In the case of information, and in particular cultural information, there are widespread differences of what's legal and what's not. The Internet answers that question by saying that people are subject to the local laws. And indeed, you can have a local domain. It would be a tragedy if the Internet, because of those issues, became balkanized at a physical level. It would be a tragedy if every country built sort of a police state around its Internet. It's much, much better to use other approaches to make sure that what's legal in one country and illegal in another country does not go from the legal country to the illegal country without appropriate supervision.